Hello, and welcome back to the EDC Squirrel. Got a new one from Case, and this is called the Longhouse. This one is, I think, model number 10845, and this is also a SHOT Show exclusive. Now, I did open this knife before on a live, but I wanted to do another video to go over a little bit more detail on the knife itself. Now, a little bit more of a premium box from Case. We'll put that off to the side. And let's get some specifics out of the way right now. First of all, this one, little lag there. First of all, this one does come with CPM 20CV steel for the blade. It has a non-reversible deep carry pocket clip. It is a top flipper, and is also a liner lock. It does also have a clip point style blade and a blade length of 2.87 inches. Closed, it's 4 inches, and overall length when open is 6.83 inches. The blade itself is coated in a black DLC, and the handle material is black denim canvas micarta with aluminum bolsters. Now, as I said before, it is a liner lock, kind of a nested liner lock there, and it has a weight of 3.3 ounces. Now, the way I see it, this is kind of like sort of a bridge between a lot of Case's traditional knives and a modern. I haven't done many videos, many videos at all on my traditional knives, but I've been falling in love with Case pretty recently, as of like middle of this year, and I've grown quite the Case collection, and hopefully in the future I'll go over more of those in more videos. But I thought this was really interesting. I'm always interested when I see manufacturers try different things, and this being kind of like a bridge between traditional and modern, I thought it'd be a really neat thing to look at. Now, this particular color, and I don't know about the blade profile, but the color itself, at least anyway, from what I understand, is a SHOT Show exclusive. And the only way to deploy the blade is via the top flipper. Not something I'm terribly used to. I don't have too many top flippers. I'm personally partial to the front flipper on a lot of knives. You don't have a nail nick here, so trying to pinch that open is not easy. And you got a pretty decent detent on the blade. So if you're not used to top flippers, this will take a little bit of getting used to. I'm finding that I have the easiest way I have to open this is kind of like how I treat my front flippers, using my thumb and then rolling that over the pivot like that. You can also curl your finger over the top. You have some jimping on that flipper that gives you a little bit of purchase, and you can use your forefinger and run it back in order to deploy the blade. Either way, this one does feel like it takes a little bit more practice or getting used to than a lot of the other knives I have. But once you have it, you got it. Now again, we have a nice solid lockup on that front flipper. Not feeling any movement on the blade once it's locked up. And there's just enough of that front flipper that protrudes out just a hair, enough for me to use the meat of my thumb and not have to dig in with my nail in order to disengage the lock, which is really, really nice. Now, the blade itself is coated in black DLC, diamond-like coating, so I can't imagine that this would scratch very easily, and the 20 CV or the CPM 20 CV steel should hold its edge for an extraordinary amount of time. Now, while the blade is closed, we can also see that it's really well centered in the well. And although it's not the snappiest lockup, it's pretty decent. It still sounds like it's a good lockup. It definitely feels like a good lockup, which is really, really nice. The canvas micarta scales feel really nice and grippy. It's a pretty neutral shape as well, so holding it in various ways does not feel uncomfortable. A pocket clip doesn't feel like it really gets in the way because that little lip at the end is pretty low. In fact, it's much lower than the initial bend on that pocket clip, as you can see there. Now, you don't have a space for a lanyard hole on this one, but they give you a pretty generous hole here. You can attach one there if you wished, and you have a near full backliner on this. It does feel really good in the hand, nice and comfortable. Again, the micarta is really nice and grippy. And let's take a look at how that blade edge is. Now, on a lot of case knives, I've noticed that I get a lot that have a bit of a burr on them. And I did notice the same on this one when it came out of the box. Now, that's something that I've noticed on a lot of case knives. And before anybody mentions how that's just like bad finishing or anything like that, one thing I did notice is that burr is extremely easy to remove and doesn't take much work at all. Many times it's just a little run on a leather strap, which I did do on this one because it did have a slight burr on one side. And once I've removed that burr, the blade is extremely sharp. That feels really good going through that paper. Nice sharp edge from choil to tip on that one. And again, nearly every case I know has that little tiny burr. And I don't know why they leave that burr on. I've heard some people say it's so that you can tell that it's never been used or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know the explanation for it. All I know is that that burr is extremely easy to remove. Like I said, a lot of times I'll take my little work sharp and then I'll just run the blade over on the strop a few times. In some cases, I might have to use the fine or the very fine ceramic rod, but otherwise, a lot of times this is all I need to do. That burr immediately comes off, and once that burr comes off, those case knives are razor sharp. And I did have to do the same with this, where there was a slight burr. It came off surprisingly easily, and there you saw extremely sharp edge pretty much out of the box once you remove the burr. But really impressive edge on that one. And again, because it's CPM 20CV steel, it has a reputation for being able to hold on to that edge for a very long time. Anyway, extremely impressive new knife from Case. I was really curious about it. Like I said, I've loved their traditional knives and have been collecting them now for a little over half a year. And when I saw this, I just had to give it a look and give it a try, kind of an expensive try. These are going to run you right around just under $200, I believe, depending on the site you go to. But I'm glad it was well worth it. Again, might have to get used to that top flipper a little bit, but once you're used to it, it's pretty easy. And this is definitely a workhorse type of knife, something I'm going to take with me and carry quite a lot, I believe. And they do have other finishes. There is a rosewood version that I'm really keen to take a look at once I get the funds available to get another one. Now, I got mine on Chasing Blades through Whatnot, which is the Whatnot auction site. I get a lot of my knives through Chasing Blades. They have fantastic prices. They have great auction shows. Very entertaining. And they did come up with a new website. It used to be unwaverengendeavors.com, but they got a new website more in line with their whatnot name. It's called chasingblades.com. And I believe you can also find this there as well as many other types of knives if you want to give them a look. I'll put a link down below in the description or maybe have it fly around the screen somewhere. So do give them a look. Let them know that the EDC Squirrel sent you. Really awesome folks there at Chasing Blades and a really awesome knife. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you saw, please drop a like down below. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll know as soon as I drop down a new video. But you guys have been amazing with all your support, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, and do give chasingblades.com or Chasing Blades on Whatnot a high for me.